Solving Radical Equations, edited and voiced by August. Problems and footage of solving the problems is by Peyton. So, what is it? Does anyone honestly really know? Google says a radical equation is an equation in which a variable is under a radical. To solve a radical equation, isolate the radical expression involving the variable. That's way too complicated. So, I'm just gonna dumb it down, mostly for myself. But it's when you need to remove a square root from the equation so that it can be solved for x. Why is it important? Wait, Peyton, why is it important? It's important because if you don't solve for x, the x will be sad, and you won't get to be friends with x, and you will be lonely forever. That's not true. Solving radical equations is essential for any person taking an algebra class for them to be successful.
Solving radical equations. Level 1.
The first problem is the easiest out of the three, and they will get harder as your skills grow. The first problem is 7x squared minus 5 is equal to 23. The first step in solving the problem is to get the 7x squared by itself. To get it by itself, you add 5 to both sides of the equation to get 7x squared is equal to 28. To remove the 7 from the 7x squared, you divide both sides by 7. To get x squared equals 4. The final step is to square root both sides, and your final answer should be x is equal to plus or minus 2.
Solving radical equations. Level 2.
The next equation is the square root of 5x plus 1 minus 6 is equal to 0. The first step of this problem is similar to the first step of problem 1. You need to put the minus 6 over on the side of the 0, and you do that by adding 6 to each side. The following step is to square both sides to remove the square root from the left side. What you would get from squaring both sides? 5x plus 1 is equal to 36. You all know the next step. Say it with me now. Subtract 1 from both sides of the problem, which should give you a grand answer of x equals 7!
Solving radical equations. Level 3.
The final problem that we're going to be doing is the square root of x squared minus 4x is equal to minus 4 plus x. Contrary to the first two problems, we actually have to square both sides before we can actually get started. When you square the side on the left, you should be left with x squared minus 4x. When the other side is squared, you should get 16 minus 8x plus x squared. This step, it doesn't really matter the order, but what we did was that we subtracted the x squared from the side on the right and subtracted it on the other side, making it x squared minus x squared minus 4x. That should go without saying that the side on the right would be 16 minus 8x. After removing x squared from both sides, you are left with negative 4x is equal to 16 minus 8x. To get the x variables on one side, you would need to add 8x to the side on the right as well as to the side on the left. A simplified version of that would be 4x is equal to 16. The correct answer for this problem is x is equal to 4. I really hope this helped. Go out there and solve your radical equations.